breaking news right now. The CHP chasing two people on a motorcycle with no plates.
Our Desmond Shaw is overhead in SkyCal. And Desmond, this started in Covina, right? And then became a CHP pursuit.
That's right. CHP is in pursuit, but it started with Covina. It was all because of no plates. Two people on the back of this bike. This is so dangerous as we're southbound on the 101 right now. Just came into Hollywood at Hollywood Boulevard and turned back around. Unfortunately for us, because of the Dodger flight restriction, this is going to get really complicated for us. We were trying to follow it into downtown, but then we had to go all the way around. And right as we got overhead, now he's headed back into that flight restricted area. So just seems to be driving as recklessly as possible with the hopes that CHP will abandon this, but that has not been the case. You see they have the spotlight overhead. I believe that it may be LA County Sheriff's deputies, helicopter, yes, Sheriff 24 overhead. CHP on the ground. They've been pretty aggressive with trying to keep up with this. You know, sometimes they let these go, other times they don't. And I mean, we've got someone who is really gambling with their life here. Look at this, over 100 miles an hour. Even at this late hour, you've got quite a bit of traffic on the 101 here as they head back towards downtown LA. So we'll try to keep up with this one and see what their end game is to get away from the police. But really, really dangerous speeds here as we leave Hollywood now southbound on the 101.
And this
Susie and Rudiway.
And this person not only gambling with one person's life, but two. You know, we've got someone on the back of this thing, and you wonder, you know, how this all came about. I mean, if we're just talking about no plates, that can't be the reason why they're running from police officers or running in the first place from law enforcement, if that was the only reason why. So it makes you wonder what else is going on here.
Yeah, and they were on the 101 and got off around downtown, right, and then got back on the 101 and driving very erratically at very high speeds and nearly missing multiple cars on the freeway there.
Yeah, and you might notice that our shot is kind of far away, and Desmond has to take this shot because of flight-restricted area that he's flying over right now. We have to stay at a certain altitude, not to mess with the flight restrictions, so we want to make sure that we adhere to that. But we're going to continue to follow this pursuit just as closely as we can. Please, Desmond, go ahead.
No, you're correct there, Susie. This, we have to basically stay 3 miles away from Dodger Stadium right now. We can't get over the top of it because then it interferes with LAX's flight path. So obviously not a problem here for the authorities keeping up with the pursuit. So we can show you the helicopter right there. And they still seem to have a pretty good visual of this one as it continues back into downtown. Just see the flicker there of their night sun. So southbound 101 coming back towards the 4 level and downtown LA. I would have thought that the bike would have gone into downtown to begin with. And when they came into Hollywood, they slowed way down. And I was kind of, well, maybe they ran out of gas because, you know, that's another thing is if you want to roll the dice like this on a motorcycle and go this fast, plus when you have two people, that doubles the weight and the drag. You're not going to be able to run for very long at that kind of high speed. And if CHP wants to keep up with it, they will, and you're going to end up in handcuffs the moment that you run out of gas. What you can see here is we're coming around the south side of downtown. We're going to lose that shot for a little bit, give you at least a little bit of a beauty shot of our gorgeous skyline here. There you can see the lights there from Dodger Stadium. So the issue is as well, even though the game is over, the flight restriction lasts for an hour until after the game is over. So kind of, you know, frustrating for us, but they are coming back. I have to try to reacquire the helicopter and see if they're just going to fly back through downtown LA, maybe head back to the San Gabriel Valley where this one began. So in downtown behind some of the tall buildings here at the moment. Let me just see if I can reacquire this for you.
Yeah, really surprising, as Desmond was pointing out earlier, to see that the CHP ground units were so close to actually chasing this individual, because as often as we see motorcycle pursuits sort of being relinquished, and you know they give up on them because they say, you know, we'll catch up to this person later. It's just not worth it because of the fact that they have to travel at such high speeds to keep up with them. And so, you know, when you have the air unit, that's what you're usually primarily looking at. You know, and they kind of call the shots for those ground units wherever they are later on. But it looks like they want to stay with this one for whatever reason that it is.
Yeah, and the motorcycle now on the southbound 110, just passing the 101. So we're looking at the shot, wide shot from downtown LA, but it also gives you perspective as to all the places this motorcycle driver with this passenger on the back can go. The freeways, he's been on multiple freeways so far, exited, gotten back on at very high speeds, and you see the people out and about there, especially those coming from the game.
It's true, and especially on a motorcycle, it is a different chase for officers, especially in vehicles. They will never chase with motorcycles. So that is one thing that they cannot do. So with a car chasing a motorcycle, that motorcycle can go through an alleyway. That car may not be able to go as fast as that motorcycle, perhaps. And so oftentimes we see them losing motorcycle chases, but for whatever reason, this is something that they want to stay on.
That's a really good point. And I just think about the person on the back, if that person wants to be there, what the circumstances and what else is going on, as you mentioned earlier, why they gave chase in the first place.
So Desmond, does it look like they're on the freeway still? Do you have